Hi everyone, this is Linda from Lilybug's Library, and coming to you today with just some different books that are coming out in October so that you can get ready for them. And I'm hoping you can't hear my washer in the background because I started laundry and then went, oh, that might have been a bad idea. But anyway, we'll carry on. So the first book is called A Cold Highland Wind by Tasha Alexander, and it's the 17th in the Lady Emily Mysteries, and it's coming out October 3rd. And it says in the summer of 1905, Lady Emily, husband Colin Hargreaves, and their three sons go on a family vacation to the Scottish estate of their dear friend Jeremy, who's the Duke of Bainbridge. But the Duke's gatekeeper is found murdered on the banks of the loch, and there is a curious runic stone left on Sinclair's forehead. So it says Lady Emily must follow a trail of hidden motives, an illicit affair, and a mysterious stranger to reveal the dark side of this seemingly idyllic Highland village. So kind of like anything that takes place in the Highlands. That's kind of fun. And haven't read any of the other ones, but 17 of them. I'm assuming it's a pretty good series. So the next one I'm looking forward to. It's called Mistletoe and Murder, and it's by Connie Berry, and it's the fifth in the Kate Hamilton series. So it's coming out October 17th. And it says 5 days before her wedding to Detective Inspector Tom Mallory, Kate Hamilton finds her friend Sheila in need of her help. So Sheila is becoming a bride herself, and she needs Katie's help to get Carl Curtis, her fiance, out of Venezuela. So his passport was taken from him by the authorities, and they're claiming that he owes them money. Carl says it's a bribe, but he's unable to leave unless it's paid. So Sheila decides to sell her grandmother's coin collection. So it includes a valuable gold coin presented by Queen Victoria to her grandmother. And it's in there with a letter from the Queen. So as the clock ticks down, Kate goes to Sheila's house to help her search for the royal letter, but it's nowhere to be found. So the house has been torn apart and Sheila is missing. So could Sheila's disappearance be connected to the death in town? Kate will have to piece together the clues. So sounds like there's a lot going on in that one, and I like any kind of cozy mystery that takes place over Christmas, so that one should be good. The next one I'm really excited about. I kind of like a lot of cozy mysteries. I've kind of started in the middle of some of them, but this one is the next one in the Meg Lanslow series, book 34. And I feel like she just had book 33 out, so she's really cranking them out. But it's by Donna Andrews, and it's called Let It Crow, Let It Crow, Let It Crow. And again, it looks very Christmassy. I love the cover for it. The crows all around like the gingerbread house and the red and white. So I think it'll be a really good cozy. And it comes out October 10th. And it says Meg has been roped into participating in a I can't say that, weapon smithing competition, a forged in fire wannabe organized by a blacksmith friend. So she originally turned down the invitation to participate, but the night before the filming starts, someone attacks Fulk, her blacksmithing mentor, breaking his arm and eliminating him from the contest. So Meg agrees to step in as his replacement to keep the project from failing. So she finds there's several old school blacksmiths who think women have no place there anyway. And because it's such a high stakes, cutthroat competition between people with large hammers and making swords and forges full of fire, and it says, what could possibly go wrong? Well, I'm thinking a lot. The next one, I'm not fond of the cover. It's not really my style, but the book itself may be good. So it's called Lost and Hound, and it's by Rita Mae Brown, and it's the 15th in the Sister Jane fox hunting mysteries. It says fall is Sister Jane Arnold's favorite time of year. This year, the Jefferson Hunt Club is busier than ever, organizing a fundraising drive to help with the upkeep of their beloved hunting grounds. It says the festive season is interrupted by the appearance of a dead body tied to a chair and placed directly in the path of an early season hunt. So one huntsman's valuable stamp collection is stolen, and they discover the victim is also a stamp collector. Sister suspects a connection and must uncover who has been sending these cryptic signs to her friends before any of them wind up dead. So it sounds really good, and it says it's uh, The festive season is interrupted. So I'm not sure if that takes place close to Christmas or if they're talking about some other festive season, but I'm assuming it's close to Christmas. So the next one, really love the cover. It's the 12 Books of Christmas by Kate Carlisle, and it's the 17th in the Bibliophile Mysteries. And you can see like the cat there and all the cozy Christmas things in the books. It says Brooklyn's best friend Claire wants her and Derek to come to Scotland and stand up with her and her fiance Cameron. She also hopes that Brooklyn will be able to solve a little mystery that's occurred in the castle library. 12 very rare, very important books have gone missing. Once in Scotland, Brooklyn starts working on the mystery of the missing books, but is soon distracted by the thumping and bumping noises she hears in the middle of the night. You'd think the ghost of Christmas past had taken up residence, but when one of the guests is poisoned and another is killed by an arrow through the heart, Brooklyn and Derek know that this is not the work of any ghost. So that sounds really good, and the fact that it all kind of takes place at this manor in Scotland is kind of a bonus. So it sounds like it'd be a really good mystery. The next one is called and that one comes out October 24th. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. The next one is called Disturbing the Fleece by Reagan Davis, and this is 13th in the Notorious Murder Mysteries. It comes out October 25th, and it says everyone in town is thrilled when Harmony Lake is selected to host the country's largest annual yarn and fiber festival. If there's one thing our cozy, tight-knit community does well, it's plan a party. So this year's theme is Knit Fast, Dye Young, and features a speed knitting competition and free yarn dyeing lessons for the kids. Sorry, my pages are stuck together. There we go. Okay, but happiness turns to horror when someone takes the theme literally and a world-renowned yarn dyer turns up dead in a vat of her signature red dye. If you like, and then I thought it was really cute here. They actually explained what a cozy mystery was when I looked it up on Amazon to get a description of it. I really like the way that they put it. It says, if you like your cozy mysteries with a bit of humor, small town Canadian life, a hint of romance, a close circle of quirky, lovable characters that you wish you knew in real life, dogs and cats, and free knitting patterns, there's something in this series for you. No graphic violence, sex, or strong language. So that's a great way to describe a cozy. So I like that, and I like that it takes place in Canada. That's something I don't see a lot when I'm reading cozies. And because of the theme, it actually reminded me of the Bookish Knitter. So I don't know if you've read that, but if you're watching, I'd love to hear if you did. So the next one is Dirty 30 by Jane Ivanovich, and it's the 30th in the Stephanie Plum series. And it comes out October 31st. So I have a lot to catch up on with that one. I've actually got the very first of the Stephanie Plum series, but haven't got it read yet. So, like I said, I've got a lot to ever get to the Dirty 30, but we'll get there. So it says Stephanie Plum, Trenton's hardest working, most underappreciated bounty hunter, is offered a freelance assignment that seems simple enough. Local jeweler Martin Plover wants her to locate his former security guard, Andy Manley, who he's convinced stole a fortune in diamonds out of his safe. Hello. Stephanie is also looking for another troubled man, Duncan Dugan, a fugitive from justice, arrested for robbing the same jewelry store on the same day. So with her boyfriend Morelli away in Miami on police business, Stephanie is taking care of Bob, who apparently is a giant orange dog who will devour anything, from Stephanie's stray donuts to the upholstery in her car. So it says, to complicate matters, her best friend Lula is convinced she's being stalked by a mythical demon hell-bent on relieving her of her wardrobe. Okay. As the body count rises and witnesses start to disappear, it won't be easy for Stephanie to keep herself clean when everyone else is playing dirty. So that sounds like it would be interesting. So the next one is Dating Can Be Deadly by Amanda Flower, and it's the 5th in the Amish Matchmaker Mysteries, and it's coming out October 24th. And again, another really cute cover, I think, with the goats and everything. It's kind of cool. Okay, so it says it's August in Holmes County, and that means it's time for the Holmes County Fair. Don't you love a good country fair? It's the county's biggest annual event, drawing tourists and locals alike. This year, Millie has entered the quilting competition, while her very not Amish best friend, Lois Henry, is distracted by her new dating app in her search for husband number 5. When someone attacks the quilt barn by slashing the quilt display, it's unsettling enough, but when a quilting judge is found murdered, Millie knows it's time for Lois to get off her app and help her hunt for a killer instead, before the competition is wiped out for good. Okay, I don't like that kind of county fair, but one without a murder, that's good. So the next one is, oh, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It sounds really cute. It's called Baking Spirits Bright by Sarah Fox. It's the second in the True Confections mysteries. So I don't have too much to catch up on those. This one comes out October 10th, and it says, winter has arrived in Larch Haven, Vermont, bringing with it holiday cheer, lots of snow, and freezing winter temperatures. Becca Ransom is squeezing in time to skate on the frozen canals and drink hot cocoa by a roaring fire, at the same time preparing for the Baking Spirits Bright Holiday Baking Competition, a popular annual event. She's planning to enter an edible model of Larch Haven, with a mountain backdrop made of cake, gingerbread cottages, and chocolate gondolas on sugar glass canals. Sounds amazing. When one of the entrants is found dead, stabbed with Becca's chocolate chipper, Becca tries to salvage the season by finding the killer, but the heat is on and Becca is in danger of getting burned. So that one sounds amazing. The next one is Pumpkins and Peril by Agatha Frost. And this is the 29th book in the Paradale Cafe series. And I haven't heard of this one before, so I'm interested to see what it's like. This one's coming out October 17th, so good, sit with your pumpkin spice latte and have a look at this one. It says, when the leader of the Paradale Preservation Society is found dead at a Halloween party thrown by notorious property developer James Jacobson, the sleepy Cotswold village is rocked by scandalous revelations that could alter its future. Julia and her family, no strangers to solving mysteries, find themselves tangled in a brand new case that hits far too close to home. All right, well, that one sounds really good too. Okay, so we're now in the rinse cycle, so I pulled the door closed so we wouldn't get too much background noise, and we'll keep going. So the next one I have read. I did get an advance copy of it, and there is a video about it in my video section. It's called Stalking Around the Christmas Tree, and I thought it was amazing. So it's by Jacqueline Frost, and it's the 4th in the Christmas Tree Mystery Series, and I'm sure you've heard me talk about this series a ton of times, but it comes out October 17th. And so it's about Holly White. So she is in Mistletoe, Maine, and business at the reindeer games is booming. She's getting married to Sheriff Evan Gray, and the annual parade's about to begin. So this ballet has come to town. They are going to do a performance of the Nutcracker, and they're having this parade down the main street to, show this off to everybody. But disaster strikes when Tiffany, the lead ballerina, shows up dead on a float during the parade, and the Rat King's mask is nearby. So Holly will have to try to catch this killer before Christmas and before her wedding, and she's a little concerned about it all. There's a snowstorm on its way, and she's got a lot going on. And the Tiffany that is the victim in this book was actually, she came up with the name and everything based on Tiffany from the Beach Bum Bookworm, who has a great channel and has interviewed Jacqueline Frost before. And yeah, it was fun just to read it for that reason, but it was the first one of hers that I had read. Got me hooked on the series, and I went back and read them, and they're great. And so Christmassy, so kind of over the top Christmassy, which I love that time of year. So the next one is called A Taste to Die For, and it's by Richard Houston, and it's the 9th in the Books to Die For mysteries. And I mean, the cover's nice, but I have to say it's not the typical cozy cover that you see. Those are usually a little more, I guess, cartoony, and this is not. But anyway, it's we'll see how it is. It says, Jake Martin's dog, Fred, discovers the remains of some paddlefish poached for their eggs. Thus begins another murder mystery where the trio of amateur sleuths, Jake, his 70-year-old neighbor Bonnie, and neighbors Bonnie and no, his 70-year-old. Okay, we're gonna start that over. We'll try again. Jake Martin's dog, Fred, discovers the remains of some paddlefish poached for their eggs. Thus begins another murder mystery where the trio of amateur sleuths, Jake, his 70-year-old neighbor Bonnie, and Fred, the dog, embark on a journey to find a killer or killers who may be involved in the illegal purchase of caviar. Kind of a different twist. You don't hear too many mysteries about something like that. The next one is called, and that one comes out October 30th. So the next one is called Pause to Remember by Sophie Kelly, and it's the 15th in the Magical Cat Mysteries. And I do like the cover for that one. It's very cute with the cat trying to get the snowflake and things. So it says, when a water leak repair results in a body being found behind the walls of a store run by the artist co-op that Kathleen's friend Maggie is part of, everyone is completely mystified as to whose body it is and who hid it there. But as the dust settles, her boyfriend, Detective Marcus Gordon, begins to suspect the body could belong to a young woman who disappeared more than 30 years ago. When a friend with a connection to the young woman asks Kathleen to look into the circumstances around the disappearance, she and her cats, who have a special feline talent for catching felons, find themselves digging up secrets that at least one person in Mayville Heights would much prefer stayed buried. So that one too sounds really good, and that again is coming out October 17th, so not too long for that one. Okay, so when closing the laundry room door, make sure there's not a cat stuck in the laundry room. So we took care of that, and we'll go back to what we were doing. So the next one is called Monster Mash Murder by Leslie Langtree, and it's the 28th in the Mary Wrath Mysteries. So it's got a very busy cover and kind of a curious looking cat. So it says, let's see, what's scarier than an ex-CIA agent Mary Rath's Girl Scout troop? How about the spookiest Halloween haunted house ever, and the girls have found the perfect place to hold it? A disturbingly dilapidated Victorian with something in the basement that gives off some serious we're all gonna die vibes. Tween Mayor Ava bought the house with city funds, which has drawn the ire of grumpy city inspector Gilbert Moody, who also happens to be the only one in town who's not afraid of the most terrifying Girl Scout in Mary's troop, the infamous Betty. This cranky civil servant has the paperwork to condemn any building, and he's not afraid to use it. Mary's got a horrifyingly full plate this fall, from her brothers-in-law moving in with her after their pregnant wives kicked them out, to the troop illegally adopting a sullen turkey vulture named Reggie. And now her favorite ice cream parlor, Sugar Lips Feeling Lucky House of Delights, has been condemned. Moody would be feeling her wrath if he hadn't been murdered by zombies inside the haunted house. So it sounds like there's a lot going on in that one. So, and that one's, yes, October 17th. A lot of them, I think, are coming out around that time. So the next one is coming out October 10th, and it's by Jen McKinley, and it's called Sugar Plum Poisoned. And it's the 15th in the Cupcake Bakery series. And that one looks really good, and those cupcakes look really yummy. And it says, when up-and-coming singing sensation Shelby Vaughn arrives in town for 2 weeks of concerts, she hires an old friend Angie and the rest of the bakery crew to supply cupcakes for the VIP guest lounge every night. After hearing Shelby in a heated argument with her manager, Meg is concerned, but she and the crew decide to make the best of their time working with the star. Just as the bakers fall into the rhythm of the job, Shelby's manager is found dead, clutching a bit of fabric from a Santa suit and a cupcake. With the bakery crew and Shelby's backup dancers all dressed in similar Santa costumes, it's impossible to say who is the killer. So that one's coming out October 10th. So that sounds really good. I love these Christmas cozies, Halloween cozies. They're all so fun. And I think I like a lot of cozies, but I really like those theme ones, I think, probably best of all. Okay, so the next one is coming out October 17th, and it's by Spencer Quinn, and it's called Up on the Wooftop, which I love. And it's the 14th in the Chet and Bernie Mysteries. It says Chet the dog and his human partner Bernie Little find themselves high in the mountains this holiday season to help Dame Adrienne Carlisle, I'm not sure I got that right, a renowned author of best-selling Christmas mysteries, find Rudy, her lead reindeer and good luck charm who has gone missing. At Kringle Ranch, her expansive mountain spread, Chet discovers that he is not fond of reindeer. But the case turns out to be about much more than reindeer after her personal assistant takes a long fall into Devil's Purse, which is a deep mountain range. When our duo discovers that someone very close to Dame Adrian was murdered in that same spot decades earlier, they start looking into that long ago unsolved mystery. But as they reach into the past is also reaching out for them. Can they unlock the secrets of Dame Adrian's life before they too end up at the bottom of the gorge? So that one sounds really interesting. And Kringle Ranch, that sounds great. So can't wait to read more about that. So the next one is by Larissa Reinhardt, and it's called 20 Carats. And it's a novella in the Maisie Albright Star Detective series. But it comes out October 1st, and it says when Maisie's ex-co-star fiance, Gilio Bologna, is arrested for stealing her mother's priceless gold jewelry box, once owned by Marilyn Monroe, Maisie believes he has been framed. As the thefts and suspects multiply, it seems his enemies number more than his fans. Maisie can't keep her cool when the police also accuse the ginger bombshell of robbery. Can Maisie prove Gilio's innocence as well as her own? With stolen ice, diamonds aren't a girl's best friend, and neither is a larceny conviction. So that one sounds interesting. Now, of course, I have a cat trying to get into the laundry room. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Welcome to my zoo this morning. So just a couple more left. So we have October 10th is going to be David Rosenfeld's book. It's the 28th in the Andy Carpenter mysteries, and it's called 'Twas the Bite Before Christmas. So it says, reluctant lawyer Andy Carpenter is at the Terra Foundation's annual Christmas party. The dog rescue organization has always been his true calling, and this is one holiday tradition he can get behind, because every dog that's come through the rescue and their families are invited to come and celebrate. It's a great idea. This year's party is no exception, but before the stockings can be hung, homicide detectives ruin the evening. Derek Moore is one of the Foundation's best foster volunteers, and he's arrested for murder. So Andy discovers Derek, whose real name's Bobby, not sure how he gets Derek, is in the witness protection program after giving evidence against a former gang. The police believe Bobby murdered a member, but Bobby swears to Andy he didn't do this. He's built a new life, a new business, he has 2 new dogs, and he wouldn't do that. So there isn't much that Andy likes about this case, but he likes Bobby. So if he's innocent, Andy wants to help, and before Andy can settle down for his long winter's nap, he has a client's name to clear, a murderer to catch, and 2 new dogs to look after, a golden and a Dalmatian. Andy's golden retriever, Tara, will have to adjust to not being the only golden in the house while Andy gets to the bottom of this one. So that sounds really good, too. And I love dogs and cats and the mysteries. So the next one is by Connie Shelton, and it's called Haunted Sweets. And it's coming out October 12th, and it's the 17th in the Samantha Sweet Magical Cozy Mysteries. It says when Emily Plankhurst is visited by the ghost of Gabriel Greystone and learns he was murdered, she knows that she must find justice for him. The only problem is he was killed 100 years ago, shortly after he broke off his engagement to the daughter of the prominent Teos family. Emily, who runs a private research library, a place that's known to harbor its own share of ghosts, teams up with Samantha Sweet and her daughter to investigate. As they delve into the case, they discover the story goes much deeper than a broken engagement or an old feud. So that sounds really good. And I like that she's part of a research library. That's a really great job to have for someone in a cozy mystery. It gives you all kinds of room to search for things that have happened. And the last one, and I love the cover for this one too, it's called Snow Place for Murder. And it's by Diane Kelly, and it's coming out October 24th. It's the 3rd in the Mountain Lodge Mystery Series. So it says international resort developer Nigel Goodwin has traveled all the way from London to Misty Murphy's little corner of North Carolina and bought out the mountaintop lodge for the week prior to Christmas. So they want to pitch an exclusive new resort concept to wealthy American investors. But the locals are at odds over the idea, and when a group comes to the lodge to express their worries, a blizzard hits Beach Mountain. Like the weather outside, things quickly get frosty, and Misty has to call local police to intervene. Handyman Rocky Crowder plows the lodge's drive and, in an attempt to regain a jovial holiday atmosphere, smooths the snow pile into a makeshift sledding hill for all the guests to enjoy. Misty's boys have finished their exam and are home from college for the winter break, planning to spend most of their time snowboarding at the ski resort. While taking a few runs down Rocky's sledding hill, they discover a funny-looking nose-shaped rock. Only it's not a rock, it's the frozen nose of Nigel Goodwin, who's found dead and buried under the mound of snow. So that one sounds really good, and I love the thought of it being at a mountain lodge. It sounds very cozy and wintry, so I like that aspect of it. So that's all my recommendations for October that are coming out, and lots to kind of delve into and see where they go. Maybe some new series that you haven't looked at, or you can start from the beginning of some of these series. I can't believe how many cozy mysteries there are, and how many authors have, like, 20 and 30 of these cozy mysteries. They're fun, they're quirky, easy to read, so I really like that aspect of them. So anyway, I hope you found something good, and I hope you have a great day. I'm also hoping you didn't get to hear my washing machine through this whole thing. So I'll play it back and we'll see how it goes. All right, have a great day, friends. Bye-bye.